Changes means movement. Movement means motion. I wish you all a marvelous Monday. Good morning, students. I, your science teacher Gayanti Singh, together with you all, are going to start up the last topic of chapter friction.
Method to increase friction. Increasing friction. We use different techniques to increase friction. Roughening the surface. Threaded tires of vehicle have design and patterns which groove on the surface to increase resistance with the road. This prevents skidding. The sole of the shoes is also made with grooves to give a good grip on the ground. Dry the surface. Sand and gravel is thrown on slippery ground during rainy season to increase friction. Using brake pads. We increase friction by using brake pads in the brake system. To understand the different ways by which we can increase friction, friction enables us to hold the things, to walk and to run. Even a single action like ignition of matchstick required friction. So, friction is helpful. We try to increase it. For its various advantages, let us understand this with the help of few examples. We see that tires of a car have a different patterns in them. These are known as grooves. These grooves help in increasing the friction between the road and the tire. They help the tire to maintain a better grip on the ground, and this prevents the tires from slipping during the rainy season on the wet road. Sport person have shoes with spikes to increase the friction between the shoe and the ground. The spikes help the shoes to form a grip on the ground. This helps in easy forward motion as the athlete pushes the ground backward. There is a carpenter sanding a piece of wood, give them smooth furnace. While sanding, he pressed down hard on the wood to apply force due to additional pressure. The internal irregularities between the sandpaper and the wood increases, which leads to increase in friction. As a result, the surface becomes. Here comes the activity. Activity. Make a surface rough to increase friction. This makes ball move at a slower speed. Tires can make rough so that car can make stop by applying brakes. Friction can be increased by pressing the surface harder together. When matchstick rubs slightly with the matchbox, nothing happens. But rub hard, then it's fire. Lesser surface area, lesser friction. If we change the shape of the clay in a square shape, friction can increase by increasing surface area also. It takes time to slide down as the shape of the clay becomes square. How ball bearing reduces friction? Ball bearing helps to reduce contact between moving parts, thus reducing friction and supporting radical and axial loads. Today, we will see how a ball bearing works. Take a small cartridge and connect it with the ground with the help of clay. Now, invert the large petri dish over the small one. Take the clay, make a small petals and stick over the bigger petri dish like this. Take some hard bounce book and place it on the disc. Press it a bit. Now rotate it on the disc. They rotate a bit and come to stop very soon. Remove the books. Now put some marbles on the small disc. Now cover it again with big disc and books. Now rotate the books. They do so very smoothly. Do you know why this? It is because marble allow the parts to roll over each other, which reduce friction. Method to reduce friction. Methods to reduce friction. Friction can be removed by following method: by polishing surface or by using powder. We can smooth the rough surface by greasing. The friction is also reduced from the surface by using ball bearing. Ball bearings are a hollow, circular device containing small metal ball which is fitted around the moving part of a machine. Like in axle, the ball bearing reduces friction by converting sliding friction into rolling friction. By using rollers and wheels, many heavy objects like big suitcases are provided by small wheels called rollers to reduce friction, so that they can carry easily by pulling. Streamlined shape of boat, aeroplane, rocket also reduces air as well as water friction. Activity for reducing friction. How to reduce friction? There is friction between the weight and the tray surface. If I push the weight, the friction quickly causes the weight stop moving. Now, I can reduce friction by adding a lubrication between those two surfaces. So, I pour some cooking oil onto the tray. Let's just spread that all around. With the help of the weight, I am spreading the cooking oil all around. Let's observe what happens. You can see there much less friction between the surface reduced. I can quite easily move the weight all over the place. Let's recap. Friction always opposes motion and it produces heat. Friction is caused by the irregularities on the surface in contact. Friction depends on nature of surface and mass of the object. Friction increases with roughness of the surface. There are three types of friction: static, sliding and rolling friction. Sliding friction is slightly smaller than the static friction. Rolling friction is less than the sliding friction. Drag depends upon the shape, material and speed of the object. To reduce fluid friction, objects are given special shape called the streamline shape. Friction has both advantages and disadvantages.
Thank you, students. Now your chapter is over. I hope you understood.